So thank you everyone for being here today. Qualification month has just started, so we are now in December and just so excited to have everything happening. And I'm super excited to have Kim Reid with me here today. Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much for recording that video for us too on goals. It's just so clear how passionate you are about goal setting and how big goals can really help you in your business and in your life as well too, outside doTERRA. Just for everyone, I saw Kim present a version of the presentation she did on the video for us at the Presidential Day Mentor Circles, and I was just really struck by how passionate Kim was about the goals, and some of the things that she said just truly resonated with me. And I went up afterwards and asked her if she would mind sharing it with us as a Diamond Club community, and she said yes. So thank you again, Kim, for doing that. It was very much appreciated. So I thought maybe what we'd start with today is have a quick talk to Kim about some of the things, how goals have helped her throughout her life, and perhaps any additional hints and tips that Kim has for us. So Kim, is there anything you want to say to start off with?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Melinda. So setting goals is definitely one of my favourite things to do. So setting goals, but also taking the action that's required towards those goals. I think a lot of people think that reaching the goal is the thing that we should be excited about. But I find that even just going for the goal, the anticipation, that's part of the whole journey, and there's so much joy that you can get out of actually working towards your goals. Sometimes when you actually reach your goal, then you're like, okay, now what am I going to do? So I think it's always great to have such big goals and big dreams because you get so much joy and so much excitement for that. So for me, as you guys may have seen in the presentation, and definitely if you went to the mentor circle, for anyone that did, I really spoke about my goals that I set early on, and I actually presented a picture of my goals. So when I first started, I wrote down each rank, and the ranks I actually started from was gold. I wrote down gold and then platinum and so on, and I set the dates that I was going to hit those goals. For me, gold was the first one because that was the rank where I was going to quit my job. So that's my goal that I wanted to get to ASAP, because I wanted to get out of my job and just do doTERRA full time. And for the people that saw that picture of my goals that I'd set, a lot of the time the dates were crossed out. So maybe it was June 2015, then it was crossed. No, actually I'll make that July. Maybe I'll make that September. And I was okay with that because they were just stepping stones towards my big goals, which was obviously Presidential Diamond. So I think it's okay if we don't hit our goals first time. If we're thinking so huge, if we're thinking Diamond or Presidential Diamond, then if we don't hit silver in that month that we're aiming for, then it's okay, because it's just a stepping stone along the way to get to those bigger goals that we have.
And I know that some people can have a bit of a fear around setting goals, Kim, because of that reason, because they're not sure whether what's going to happen if I don't achieve it at that time. Is there anything that you do when you don't achieve a goal to reframe your thoughts or reframe your thinking?
Yeah, I think that's usually when people are just thinking short term. So if you're just thinking silver or gold, or whatever the short term goal is for you, then if that is just at the front of your mind and that's all you're thinking about, if you're not hitting that and it takes quite a few months to hit that, then that you're going to get down and you're going to feel like you're never going to get there. But if you're thinking really big and you're thinking like 4 years down the track of Presidential Diamond or whatever it looks like for you, then if you don't hit silver in 3 months or whatever it is, then it's okay, because you know, okay, this is just a stepping stone to Presidential Diamond, and you become more resilient. But if everything is invested in those short-term goals, it's going to be a lot harder to bounce back from that.
I love how you're talking about there. It's almost like a blip on the radar, and not to have too much emotionally invested in the short-term goals, because everything you do is actually as you say, a stepping stone to a bigger goal. Something else that often comes up when people are talking about goals is how, like, you might set a goal and you have every intention of committing to that goal, but somehow you don't keep focused. Is there any tips or tricks that you have to keep you focused on your goals? Keep them, I don't know whether it's something to keep them visual for you, or how do you keep them top of mind?
Yeah, so for me, so there's a few things you can do, and obviously different people do different things, but doing a vision board is something that I always do every single year. So creating my vision for what that year is going to look like. I also do a really intense goal setting exercise. So just setting out every single goal that I have for the year, getting really clear on that. And then just reflecting back on that throughout the year, like, or even throughout like every single week or every single day. It's just really, really important that you actually reflect back on that and stay really focused. So obviously I had my big goals, and then I had shorter term goals as well. But as far as your day-to-day goals, that's where your things like your rank planners are going to come in handy. So so if you're going for silver, for example, you know that you need 3 elites, complete a rank planner for those elites, and you know what you're going to need to do on a day-to-day basis. So you're really focused on exactly what you need to achieve that. So it's just breaking your goals down smaller into daily actions.
Yeah, I love that. And one of the things actually someone said to me once, to keep focused, was to make everything a game as well. So it's, if you want to do any research on it, it's called gamification. And what it means is that you set things up so that you say, okay, I need to make, instead of saying I need to make 10 phone calls, and then you'll always find a reason not to do it. You might say to yourself, okay, I'm going to make phone calls until I get 3 people saying no. So every time someone says no, you can give them, you give it a little tick, or it might be 5 people saying no. So you can give it a little tick, and that way you're actually rewarding yourself for doing things, and it keeps you on focus, and you just say, I'm going to keep going until that happens. So gamifying, I think, is also a great way to take those steps to keep you focused on what your goal for the day or for the week is as well, for those short-term goals. Make it a game. Reward yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something our team talks about quite a bit, is just making it really fun. I remember quite clearly, it was November last year when I reached Presidential Diamond. My team had a bit of a mantra that we used that month, me and my leaders, which is, this is simple, this is easy, this is fun. And that's a Reid mantra. I'm not sure if you follow him, but whenever we had a class cancellation, or if we drove really far and we didn't enroll anyone, we'd just say, this is simple, this is easy, this is fun, and would make it a bit of a game. So it's really important to enjoy the process. I know that it can get defeating sometimes when things just aren't working to plan, but if you can make it fun and make it enjoyable, it makes such a massive difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll open it up now. So what questions have you got for Kim? Anyone who's online?
Can I ask Kim a question about goals?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm goal oriented too, and I like to set myself some goals. But what if your goal is so big and scary that it paralyzes you? What would you do then?
Goals should be big and scary. That's the best type of goals that you can have. But as far as paralyzing you, I guess that's when you're caught up in your mindset. So I'm sure that when you're paralyzed, there's some thoughts going through your head about, is this real? Can I do this? The main people that give up on their goals are the people that believe that they can no longer do it. So if people are giving up on their goals, it's a belief system that they can no longer do it. So you need to give yourself examples on why you can achieve it. So find people that have done what your goals are. So if your goal is Presidential Diamond or whatever it is, find other Presidential Diamonds, because there are other Presidential Diamonds. So it is possible, like, you know that it's possible. If you're paralyzed because you're just not sure if you can actually do it, give yourself examples of things that you've done that you have achieved. Like did you say you're at gold?
No, I was going for gold this month, but I fell short by a couple of thousand, but I'm silver at the moment.
Yeah, so you're silver. So you need to think, okay, well, I've got myself to silver. All I need to do now is help other people get to silver. Can I do that? And just break it down a little bit. Try and remind yourself of different situations where you have achieved things. Have a look at other people that you know that have achieved it, and just remind yourself that it is possible as much as you can. And then just do the action. Try and stay out of your head so much.
Thanks. Yeah, mindset's pretty big.
Yes, it's massive.
Greg's asking, what's the difference between a goal and a dream, Kim?
So, yeah, a goal is when obviously you've written it down, you've declared that that is what you're going to do, and then you've actually made a plan, that you've set a plan, you've made steps, and you're actually working towards it. You're not just thinking, gee, I wish I could be presidential diamond, but I don't feel like working this week. That's a dream. A goal is, gee, I'm going to get presidential diamond in 3 years in December. So that's a goal, and I'm going to work every single day or 5 days a week towards until I get to that goal, no matter what. So that's the difference. It's when you're making that plan and you're also taking the actual action steps to get to it, because everybody wants to be presidential diamond that's doing this business. I'm sure most people would want that in their lives, but it's just a dream if you're just hoping and wishing and not actually taking those action steps towards it.
Yeah, absolutely. The planning is key, isn't it? To make sure that you know which direction you're going in. And there's that great saying, I think it's Dr. Seuss, saying something about, I've got a brain in my head and feet in my shoes. I can take myself wherever I choose. I love Dr. Seuss. And, just that one for me is always like, it's up to me where I go next and how I'm going to get there. And, if I don't know where I'm going, then I don't know where I'll be, whereas it's nice to choose. I think it's Zoe has just said, I personally struggle with the calling of people. Do you believe this is necessary? What's your thoughts on that, Kim?
Do I think it's necessary? I think if there's something you're struggling with, so for me, when I first started, I really struggled with doing classes to a point where I really just didn't want to do them, and only because I don't like public speaking. And I actually, for anyone that has heard me talk before, I actually quit doTERRA because I didn't want to do classes and didn't want to talk in front of people. But then obviously I changed my mind and thought, I'm going to have to get over this and I'm just going to have to get up there and talk in front of people. And I just decided to be brave. I decided that I was going to do it anyway. And I think if you're struggling with something, whether it's calling people or doing a class or whatever it is, I think you just need to do it more. Instead of not doing it at all, I think you just need to do it more until you perfect it. And it's okay if your voice wobbles that whole class or you say the wrong thing on the phone call, because the more times you do it, the better you're going to get. Like, my first classes were pretty horrible. I was too nervous for everyone to look at me. So I actually made a PowerPoint presentation, put it on my computer, and then connected it to the people's TV when I went to their house. And my thought was, if they can watch the TV instead of watching me, then that'll take the pressure off. And that, like, they weren't the best classes. I still got enrollments because the oils are awesome, but they weren't good classes. And obviously the more classes I did, the better I got. And I remember thinking, are classes necessary? Can I just do it online, or can I do online classes? But of course, I knew that that wasn't going to be true for me. So I think if there's something you're struggling in, if it's calling people, then I just encourage you to try and do it more. Try and do it until you can perfect it. But I think calling people is pretty important.
I agree, Kim. And it's also, I think you get that connection when you call people, when people hear your voice, even if it's leaving a voicemail, people remember you, and they remember the first connection they had with you, and you can expand on that. So you're really keeping that engagement. And because, you know, this business is all about relationships, you know, as well as our wonderful oils. So I think, yeah, phone calls allows you to have that. If Tracy wants silver and wants to go for gold, hasn't really stopped doing Diamond Club, and has travelling sharing the oils, and feel that you've become the expert. How do I turn and encourage my team to do this themselves, or do I keep going? That is an excellent question. Does anyone have an answer for Tracy or advice? No?
Hi, sorry, can you hear me?
Hello, Kim.
I'm so sorry. I don't know. I've had to use my phone because the internet just cut out on my computer. I'm so sorry. I don't even know what just happened.
That's okay. I've got Tracy asking for some advice. She feels that she's been doing Diamond Club, really she hasn't stopped doing it since she did it. And she's now considered an expert. How can she encourage her team to do it themselves, or does she just keep going?
To do Diamond Club?
I think, yeah.
I can talk to you now.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
Well,
So I've got a goal. I wanted to go for gold, like I can't remember the wee girl's name, last month, and I wasn't far off it either. But I found with doing Diamond Club, because it was about doing enrolments and that, and everyone was, you know, out of town, and I was calling in and doing them, I became the expert. So when I stopped, everybody stopped, because they were getting me, and it was, you know, like my sister and my cousin and my friends and things, and they then continue on. I've travelled the length and breadth of New Zealand every month this year, continuing, because they say, oh, when are you coming down, because we've got some more people that we want you to show the oils to. But I want to encourage them to actually to turn around and do it. But they say, oh no, we don't want to build a business, but want to share. So I had a goal of continuing to enroll 10 people a month, which I've been doing, and I did 18 last month. But what I've done is, because the enrollments have come from them, I've done the travelling and the oil shares, but I've made them the enroller. So I kind of feel a little stuck as to how to move myself on from here, because I just feel as if I'm, what is the saying, hauling buckets.
Okay, you're silver, did you say? Nearly
yeah,
gold?
I've consolidated silver every month since I hit it in April. So, and it is getting stronger and stronger, because I'm doing more and more enrollments, of course, and putting them in the legs. But because of the structure of our business and that from last year, I've got a very, very heavy leg, one leg that's got about 8,000 or 9,000 PV in it each month. And then the other ones I've been working on, the other two legs, to build them to being more solid.
Yeah. Okay, so I remember when I hit silver, and it was a really massive month that I had, and I don't know how many people I enrolled, but it would be well over 20, maybe close to 30. And I felt like I'd built it myself. And I remember thinking, how am I ever going to maintain this? I'm building myself. No one else is doing anything. I had all those thoughts, and I actually spoke to my upline, and I said, I can't keep building silver forever by myself. Like, I can't maintain this. I can't continue to build this much volume. And she just said to me, just keep on going and your leaders will come. So I just kept building. I practically built gold by myself too. I might have had a few sharers, a couple that said they wanted to build, but I just kept building myself until people started showing up. So the leaders will show up, especially if you're enrolling that many people. I think it's just really important to just keep on going, keep showing up, and then your vibe will attract your tribe. Sometimes it doesn't happen as quickly as what we hope it to happen. Sometimes you're thinking, oh my goodness, my vibe is so that I'm smashing this and going for it. Why aren't I attracting those people? But I had those thoughts too. And now I have obviously a lot of leaders that have done the same as me. So I think the most important thing is that you keep focused and keep enrolling, and you will find those people that want the same as you eventually.
So I should keep just doing it for my team, because that's why I thought, I didn't know whether I should do Diamond Club again next year, because I would have liked to have encouraged my team to do it, but nobody's really sort of stepped up, or one has, but she didn't see herself as being eligible again to be able to do it, so not being at Premier. She has hit it. She hit it back in May, but hasn't done it since. Unfortunately, life's got in the way with teenagers and etc. But so I thought maybe if I do it again, then if I go and do Diamond Club, then I get them to do the oil share, and I just be there this time.
Yeah, did you have anything to say on that, Melinda, or did you want me to go with that one?
No, I'd love for you to answer that one. Thank you.
Yeah, I think, yes, definitely. You want to, if you've got big goals to get to gold and beyond, I think you should definitely be doing Diamond Club. If your team aren't ready to commit to Diamond Club, then that's just showing that perhaps they're not ready to step up into leadership positions, and that you need to continue growing your team until you find those people that want to take it further and want to step up into leadership. So yes, I think definitely you should be doing it, and just continue to support them where they're at and what they want to do, and continue to find new people.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. And also perhaps in there, Tracy, encouraging people to become more involved in the classes and asking them to share some of their experience. And you know, sometimes once people start doing that, they automatically step into it and think, oh, I could actually do this. So yeah, it's about that empowerment as well, encouragement for them too.
Cool.
What else have we got? Adele's asking about people spending money this month. How's there any tips on what people are doing to qualify, given priorities are everywhere else and people are under financial pressure? What tips do we have to qualify this month?
Okay, so my tips are that December is probably the biggest month of spending in history. Like globally, this is when people are prepared to be spending the most amount of money. So it's really important for people to be sharing the value of the oils and why it's such a great Christmas gift. Like, the most people that I get that enroll in this month is usually people that want to get oils for themselves for Christmas. So I think if we can start sharing the value of getting doTERRA for Christmas, then you're going to find those people that want to enroll this month. So if people's priorities are elsewhere, then it's our job to show them the value of these oils and what they can bring into people's lives.
And utilising those wonderful promotions that we have as well. That 200 PV frankincense promotion is amazing. So yeah, that's always there to help us too. Debbie wants to focus classes in her out of area leg, but all the key members are in the strongest leg. So that's probably similar to what we had with Tracy before. Any particular advice on building a weak leg?
So definitely just really looking deep into those weaker legs, and just finding out who actually is in there that wants some support, and make sure that you reach out to everybody and just see if there's any way that you can come and support them and teach them. Just trying to utilize the benefits of Diamond Club as much as possible and contact every single person in those legs. And then I guess once you get one or a couple of classes in those weaker legs, then that's your opportunity to really focus on getting classes and continuing to build on those legs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Great tip there about contacting everybody, because you never know where people's mindset is, and what often when we put things out, we don't get responses. So we don't know what people are thinking. So I think it's great to just think, look, I'll put that out there. I don't know what people are thinking. Just because I haven't heard anything back, it doesn't mean that people aren't interested. It just means they haven't come back to me. So, you never know what people are going to say when you contact them. All right. Bree is interested in some tips to qualify. I've offered guests for my 7 out of area people, but only have 5 maybes, which is a bit tight. So I love that you're going for a bit more than what's actually required there, Bree. And also she's saying she loves the 3 pathways discussion that Teresa talks about. That helps with the share a builder thing. That's not something I'm familiar with. Do you know that one, Kim?
I might need to be reminded.
Yeah, Bree, are you there? Are you able to talk to us about that?
I am. My video.
Hello.
Where's my video? Hi. Can't seem to get my video on, but never mind. Teresa talks about, I'm trying to think of her surname, Presidential Diamond. She's in the US.
Teresa
That
Harding.
one. Yes, Teresa Harding. So Teresa talks about the 3 pathways as a discussion that she has with someone who hosts a class or someone who expresses interest in sharing. I'll see if I can find the YouTube link and post it in. It's our team's only just started using this in the last 3 weeks with the training that she's running, a placements training, and it's amazing because it takes the pressure off people with what they perceive as a builder. When someone says, I want to build, but then they don't, we feel disappointed because we don't know that we're all on the same page. So it basically says pathway 1 is essentially getting your oils for free. This might take a period of time, but essentially setting someone up to get their oils for free. Pathway 2 is earning at a part-time income, so usually sort of around gold to silver level, and that it takes us 15 to 20 hours a week for a period of time to get to that pathway. And then a big builder who is, more your blue diamond sort of income. So she outlines that in about 3 minutes and suggests how to talk to anyone who hosts a class to say, where do you see yourself in this? So we're not putting pressure on them. And then they can go, yeah, I feel like I'm just a 1. And she said a lot of people want to be a pathway 3, but they're scared about commitment. So they'll normally go to a 2, and then over time they start to become. So she says it's really easy to find builders because she talks about that to everybody who's not comfortable about it. So yeah, it's amazing.
That sounds great.
Yeah, so those 3 pathways are actually in the build guide. They're one of the pages on the build guide, but I guess that sounds amazing, and I guess not every single person that you do a class with, you're going to go through that whole build guide with them. So even if you just printed out that 1 page and had that there available to go through with them once they've hosted a class, I think that's a really great idea. But yeah, those 3 pathways are part of the build guide that they get in the enrolment packs.
She just outlines the time commitment, which is really cool because a lot of people don't know what's involved in being a builder. When they say I want to build, they don't know they have to put in 15 or 20 hours a week for 2 years or whatever. It just gives them something solid.
Yeah, and sometimes when people say they want to build the business, because we so badly want fully committed builders that want to absolutely fly with us, when someone says they want to build the business and we start giving them all this information and talking to them about how to hit diamond or whatever we're giving them, if they're just somebody that wants to earn a little bit of cash to pay for their oils, then that's probably going to really overwhelm them. So having those 3 pathways and knowing exactly where they fit in those really helps us to know how to support them to reach whatever their goals are.
Exactly. She says not to place people if they're not high enough up, that, you know, don't place them on your front line if they're not a 2 or a 3 as well. So it ties in with her whole placement strategy too.
Yeah, awesome.
Excellent. And thank you for posting that link too.
Yes, trying to find that.
That's good. And someone's put it up. I'm not sure who that is who's put it up.
Perfect.
But that's perfect. So thank you so much. We're just over our time limit. Just wanting, before we closed off, is there any other particular questions that you want to ask either Kim or myself before we close it off today? No? All right. Well, we might finish it there. So thank you everyone very much for your attendance. Thank you so much for our special guest, Kim Reid. I've so loved having you on today. Thank you for all your words of wisdom. And yeah, keep tuned on the Facebook group. For applications for Diamond Club, there'll be a post going out a bit later today with the link to the website with the applications form and how to fill them in. So when you're ready to fill in your application, we're really looking forward to getting those through. And the cutoff date for applications will be the 6th of January. So hope today was useful, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Belinda. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.